All right. What's up, guys? It's Xavier.
I'm Alyssa.
And we're back on Exactly. All right, guys. So we're back on season 3. We're giving you a new update now that we're 2 games deep.
Yes, the season finally started.
Yep.
Good news or bad news? Tell us.
Well, let's give it just an overall right now. Let's not deep dive right into the good and bad.
Okay. Well, right now our ranking is 0-2, so we've lost both games.
Can only get better from here.
Yes, obviously.
Being optimistic.
So the first game was with Spurs.
Yes. So yeah, the first game was against the Spurs. Wemby went and dropped 40 plus. 40 points. Yeah. He. What did Stephen A. said? He made AD look like an 8th grader. And I think we had already made that comment in preseason. How we weren't too pleased with AD's performance.
I agree, and I expected, stronger presence. He seemed bothered that they had him as center a lot.
Yeah.
So I think he can obviously do better.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's just bothered. I just don't. I don't think that's his strong suit. I think that his height is why we put him in that box, right, of center. But I don't think, obviously, he.
Of course not. Of course, it's not his strong suit. But because our stronger center, Gafford, is hurt, he's second up to Gaff. Like, I get it. You miss Gaff, but we all miss Gaff.
Yeah.
But
I do think
it's your job to pick up the slack.
Yeah, but thinking about it, that's probably what he's doing. Probably waiting for Gafford to come back. He's like, this won't be my position.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but this is your job. And you're what did Stephen A. say about AD?
He's that guy, that dude that they said it was okay to trade Luka for.
I'm looking at him and I'm like, I need to see more, because you're the dude that they said it's okay to trade Luka for.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, you do got to have a little bit more of a offensive presence if you're also not going to have a defensive presence, because that's the biggest issue we're having right now is Wemby dropping 40. Nurkic, was doing what he wanted in the preseason, which with the Jazz, which was one of our last games.
Mm-hmm. And the same thing with this game with the Spurs.
Yeah, same thing with the Spurs. If you look at the Wizards game, which was our most recent one, which we also lost, I think we had a probability of, let's say, 80-20 that we were going to win.
I didn't think the Wizards were that great, but...
I mean, I understand they have now Chris Middleton and CJ McCollum's there, but it's still kind of like, well, we have Klay Thompson and we have Anthony Davis, and it didn't seem that way. Klay Thompson, again, he's shooting for a whopping overall 30% from the field, not even from 3-point line. 3-point line, I don't even want to talk about that.
That's your job, buddy.
Let's just not for now, right? Because it is newer stats.
You're right. It's only 2 games. We're being very pessimistic.
But this is why I'm not going by 3-point percentage, because I understand 3 points are kind of hard to come by. I understand, but when it comes to shooting your little mid-range shot, or in then D'Lo's case, he's shooting 11%, and he's getting to the cup. He's either dishing it way too far and creating a turnover, or he's not scoring.
I agree. I think I don't want to. It's so mean to say this, but I think D'Lo has decreased from preseason. I think he did way better in preseason than in actual season. I don't know if they're too rough or what it is.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I guess kind of staying with the whole AD and Klay. We have the 2 superstars. Klay's won 4 championships. Going up to 4 to Booker and whatnot, but it doesn't seem that way. It doesn't seem like they have that energy. I understand the first 2 games, but Wemby came out fired up.
Yeah, he did, and I love the competition of Wemby and D-Live.
Yeah,
because they're like the perfect match. I hated that D-Live and PJ fouled out so fast in the game.
that first game. So yeah, let's now kind of deep dive into that first game. It was. I don't want to sound like I'm just complaining or making an excuse, but if you watch the game, there was way more fouls for the Spurs in the first 3 quarters than were for the Mavs, and we can gather some clips.
Yeah,
that's going to be, Wemby getting to the cup foul. And I'm not saying that Wemby needed the fouls to get the 40 points. I mean, kind of, but he was making his shots.
Yeah, but it did look like there was a behind-the-scenes agenda.
Yeah.
And the Mavs weren't the agenda.
Yeah, we're watching y'all, NBA.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because we have the newest rookie. We're not going to give it easy to them, which is fine. I agree. I think the Mavs have to fight for it, but at that extent, it's almost like playing OKC too.
Yeah, it did seem very lopsided because when just the possession before, San Antonio would get a call, and then we go running in transition as well. Same play, PJ not getting a call, Cooper not getting a call. And it was kind of annoying because that's where they were starting to get that separation, and you can see gradually the confidence leaving.
Well, I mean, I get it. I mean, after so many times, you're doing it wrong. But when you're not doing it wrong, it's a mood buster.
Yeah, because they started off at 29 points first quarter, 22 points the second quarter, which I had already said that was bad, but that was our pattern.
I think that's our norm. It's our second quarter is usually our lowest, so that was fine. But we never.
Third quarter was 21 points, and that's when I knew something was wrong. But that's also the quarter where it was very foul heavy.
Yeah.
Towards the Spurs, and it was kind of frustrating to watch because if they just let it play out, I think it still would have been a much closer game. Although the Mavs did miss, those calls. Those shots when they weren't being called. Sometimes the Spurs would still make theirs.
Yeah.
So that would be the difference where I think the Spurs still could have maybe won the game, but it would have been a much closer game. Mm-hmm. And who knows, maybe momentum and confidence could have shifted to where it could have.
Easily.
But the separation, the way that they made it seem like it was a dominance, just heavy because of defense and the steals, is just that the Spurs were allowed to play free defense like the Celtics were in the finals.
And do you think it has to do with stature? Obviously, Spurs aren't as big and as buff and solid as the Dallas. Do you think that's why they thought it was okay to foul Dallas so much?
It feels very much of when Cam Newton was in the NFL and he wouldn't get those roughing the passer calls because he's a tough guy compared to someone like a Tom Brady who you better not touch his pinky toe because he's getting a call.
Wouldn't that be considered bias?
It is, but it does feel very much like it, not just bias. As you've seen in the news recently, there is obviously other agendas, not just by referees, but NBA players alone.
Yeah.
Included, should I say.
Then again, although that is happening, that is still obviously super obvious, and the Mavs aren't making their buckets.
Mavs are making their buckets. Yes.
Summarize it, the Mavs aren't making their buckets.
Yes, because as you saw the percentages, D'Lo's 11%, Clay's at 30%. Who else? Najee had 3 points both games, 3 each game.
For real, I think that's the most disappointing is Najee.
D'Lo had 1 point against the Wizards.
I don't know.
That's the most disappointing. It doesn't make a difference. He's still a veteran.
Yeah.
He's expected to make more than 1 point in 20 plus minutes of game.
I agree.
But with that being said, they're not doing the best. The ones that are coming through is PJ. He's averaging, but he usually does 17.5 points. He had 18 and then 17 in the last game. 60% from the field at least.
Yeah.
And then 50% from threes.
I mean, I can always rely on. Last year we made it noticeable. PJ is a huge part of a winning team,
which is why he was getting fouled out in the first game. I feel.
I agree. D-Live and PJ are always the first ones because they are the stand your ground, standing on business. But Najee used to be that person too.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on with Najee, but it's not good. Cooper has a better percentage. He's at 37% shooting.
I agree. I think Cooper came real in in hand in the last game against the Wizards. He had a bunch of lobs. He got defensive comebacks of the ball.
His second game was for sure a lot more active than his first game.
For sure.
His first game, he had a double-double. So, that's not bad in the NBA. 10 boards, 10 points.
I think for a rookie, that's great. I mean, imagine the nerves. Exactly. If he had come out with like 0, doing nothing at all, then it's like, bro, Which
the first half he did go for 0 points.
Yeah, but that's my point. Also a rookie.
He went 0 points first half in the first game, and obviously he scored the rest of the 10 points. Then the second game had 18 points.
Mm-hmm.
So he lit it up in the fourth quarter because nobody could step up against the Wizards, apparently. And Cooper did. In the fourth quarter, he turned it on, and he looked a little more comfortable.
He did.
Versus no one else wanted to take the reins.
He did. So, okay. So that's roughly like on the 2 games. Let's deep seeing what's the overall fault in our Mavs. Like, I want to first point out our defense isn't the greatest. Like, for being defense wins championships, our defense isn't the greatest right now.
Mm-mm.
And
I think the biggest flaw is Anthony Davis. He's just letting anyone walk in there, and I'm not sure if he's just trying to prove a point, like, I'm terrible at this position, get me out. But it's making us look really bad. And he's averaging 24.5 points, roughly around there, a game. So he's putting up points, but the defensive woes compared to his offensive production is not balancing out.
I agree.
I'm not. I think Anthony Davis right now is the weakest link. I think maybe he's just trying to preserve, not trying to get injured, maybe. But he is still looking a bit sloppy.
He is, but I don't think he is our weakest link. I am more aiming to the shooters being our weakest link, like Clay, D'Lo, even B-Will. We saw him a little bit in the Wizards and didn't do much.
Defensively, B-Will got scored on quite a bit.
And I get it, you're small, but like Kai is small, maybe you gotta get more muscle, or you gotta be a wall.
I think it was just a matter of strategy, because when I saw a couple of plays where B-Will was trying to guard the 3, he was just out of position. So he's trying to recover, and it's too much ground to get up, and plus, obviously, his height is not helpful. So I think it's just more strategy. I think maybe just spacing. The Mavs need better spacing and shooting. It's just all around bad.
Yeah.
The Spurs right now, let's kind of look around the NBA, right, of like the biggest names.
Leading teams.
So it's kind of right now it's amongst the Thunder, which are the reigning champs, the Spurs, the Knicks, and the Lakers. Because the Knicks are kind of one of the top teams in the East.
Yeah.
And I know that it's not completely irrelevant in the East, but of course we want to kind of see what our main competition is at home.
Yeah, especially since Brunson was from us.
So. Yeah, the Lakers are.
Still was an OG.
Yeah, the Lakers are first right now.
Yeah, they're 1-1 though right now. Like win 1, lost 1.
Well, I'm talking about field goal percentage wise. They're the most efficient. Record. Yeah. Well, it kind of correlates. They're 1-1, but they're the best right now at 56.9%. And then, of course, after that would be the Spurs in Oklahoma, and then we're at like 37%.
Well, I mean, shooting. Just look at.
Not good.
Look at the record right now. We're at 0-2. Oklahoma is 3-0. Spurs is 3-0. Like we should be up there.
Yeah, the Spurs are 5th in the NBA shooting. That's pretty good. That's really good. Lakers are first, of course, number 1 in the league. And OKC is 21st. So they're not the best, which we saw a couple of games. It's just, if you watch the second game against the Oklahoma, Shai was already at the free throw line
so fast
with like 20 seconds off the clock. So that's how they're producing points. Obviously, it's not reflecting on their percentage, which when the refs stop helping, they're not going to do the best. But we're not doing too well at 37. Yeah, we're in the kind of very bottom.
I get it. Like, we don't deserve to be on top right now.
Yeah.
But that just gives more motivation for the Mavs. I know everyone's angry They're saying, you know, like the re-chanting of the fire Nico, but they didn't pay attention to preseason. You know, I thought we were doing great in preseason, and it's just something's off here. Like, they can solve this. Yeah. It's not something all of us are hurt. Who's gonna come in? You know, like last year. Last year was traumatizing.
Yeah, there was no hope. Yeah, for help. Because everyone was so injured.
Yeah, I agree. And the games coming up it's going to be fun. We have a game today against the Raptors. So that's interesting.
Those guys are number 2 in the league in shooting.
And they're 1-1 like the Lakers.
So they're, it's obviously a tough league, right? They're 1-1. Number 1 and number 2, best shooting. The Thunder are 3-0 because you know why. And the Spurs they're actually pretty damn good. Wemby's coming out on a tear. So shout out to Wemby. He's doing really, really good. And unfortunately, this year we lost to them.
Yeah.
Normally it's our kind of like our bye game.
Yeah.
But Wemby's now making it a tough road trip to San Antonio.
Yeah.
But yeah, we play the Raptors today. They're the second best shooting team in the league, and we'll see how tonight goes. Maybe they can lock in and play some defense.
I hope so. I think it's going to be interesting because we play the Raptors tonight, but the next game for the Spurs is the Raptors. So to see where our momentum, if we win and then the Spurs lose, if we're getting better, you know. And then OKC is playing the Mavericks after this game against the Raptors. So that's going to be interesting too, to see if it'll be like another Spurs thing, you know, where the refs are covering everything for the OKC.
Well, like I said, the refs were a factor, but Wemby was still doing his thing. He was blocking lights out. He was blocking lights out.
He was trying.
It was crazy.
And I appreciate it because I feel like last time or when he first started, he wasn't that into it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he's now enjoying being in the NBA, and it's different when you love your job.
Yep. Yeah.
So I like it.
So now we got transition over to football.
Yeah, let's talk Seahawks.
What we got first?
So guys, right now my Seahawks are 5-2, if you heard. I'm just spoiled because during the Legion of Boom, it was my birthday in the Super Bowl, so they won there. So I'm excited for them to win again. Now that we have a great quarterback, I think he's Darnold, right?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah. He's super good. Of course, we did get some turnovers this last games with the Texans, but compared to the amount of turnovers we used to get, I think we're fine. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, there's been some a few hiccups here and there, but they're pretty good. Sam Darnold's been pretty good overall when it comes to making his decisions. Not too many bad ones.
No, I agree. And then offensively, we have so many people who can make a play, like Arroyo and Charbonnet and Njigba. Njigba. I'm sorry, bro. And even Njigba, so energetic. There was a whole scene last game where he was in the Texans line and it almost looked like he was going to get beat up. But the ref protected our man. So thank you, ref.
Yeah.
But it's great. And then
very few times I will say that.
I know. He's an old football player, so he's traumatized. But that's just offensively. Defensive was great. I mean, I caught number 91 Murphy. I noticed you. Number 3, Imanari. I think I'm saying that so wrong. I'm so sorry, but I noticed you. Our defense in general is just very energetic. Even our offensive line, it's been so long where our offensive line hasn't been able to push our people to get 1 or 2 yards, and they did that this game too. I feel like that's being a statement. It's just, I'm so proud of the Seahawks. You know?
Yeah, I think with Sam Darnold, he's been on a pretty good tear precision-wise. You know, he's able to chunk it deep, which is why Njigba's able to get all the yardage that he's been getting and still leading the league.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can see there's a little bit of envy going on there with that kind of treatment he got on the sidelines.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but they're a good combo, you know. They got a big team. They're very powerful team.
Yeah.
they have the ex-Cowboy, DeMarcus Lawrence, there on the line as well. So he kind of puts that little bit of pressure of speed on them. But they got to get tackles in there, as well as their safeties making picks like crazy. So,
and I also want to point out that the refs aren't a big part of the game. Before, the refs used to control the Seahawks game so much, and it was like NBA, and it wasn't fun to watch, and it was annoying. But it's good football, you know? So I have to appreciate that as a football fan, that didn't make a difference in the game. Because whether we like it or not, refs control the game. But when they do their job, it's nice.
Or when they let the game play itself sometimes. You know, it's got to let the game play.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, I think that is all for today. We're going to maybe go live with today's game to see our feelings. So make sure you check in with our social media.
Yeah.
And that's all. And then we'll come back maybe every week.
Stay tuned. We'll definitely give you guys some updates and kind of bunches, you know. That way you guys can stay in the know what's going on with what teams, who's been taking over, if the Seahawks are still on top, and if the Mavs are making that rise as well.
Yeah, because we're all interested.
So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
All right, guys.